What if I told you that everything you believe about life, success, and yourself might be a lie? That sounds harsh, but stay with me. This isn't another fluffy motivational talk. This is the real stuff, the kind of truth most people are too scared to say out loud. But I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm here to show you what's really holding you back, and more importantly, how you can finally break free. Let's get real. The life you're living right now isn't fully your own. You weren't born thinking you're not good enough or that success is only for certain people. Those beliefs were taught to you. They were passed down by parents, teachers, media, and the world around you. From the moment you were born, your mind started soaking up ideas, most of which were never yours to begin with. You learned fear before you learned courage. You learned limits before you even had a chance to dream. You were programmed, trained by your environment, your upbringing, your culture, to think a certain way. You were shaped by other people's pain, their fears, their opinions, and their rules. And here's the most dangerous part. You don't even realize it's happening. Most people walk through life thinking they're making choices, believing they're in control. But in reality, around 90% of your decisions, reactions, and thoughts come from deep-rooted patterns in your subconscious. They're just automatic responses, scripts running quietly in the background. You think you're choosing, but you're reacting. You believe you're free, but you're following a program. And guess what? That program is outdated. It's broken. It's designed to keep you small, stuck, and safe, but not happy, not fulfilled. Think about it. How do you view money? Do you believe it's hard to get, that you need to work yourself into exhaustion to earn it? That rich people are greedy, or that financial success is only for the lucky? Where did that come from? Maybe you heard money doesn't grow on trees growing up. Maybe your family struggled and told you that people like us don't get ahead. So that became your truth. Not because it's real, but because it was repeated so many times your brain accepted it without question. What about love? Maybe deep down you believe you're unlovable, or that every relationship ends in heartbreak. Maybe you've been hurt and told yourself it's better not to trust. But again, where did that belief come from? A painful experience? Watching your parents argue or split up? A culture that taught you love has to be hard? These ideas were fed to you. You didn't ask for them, but they shaped your view of the world. Now, here's the wake-up call. If these beliefs weren't yours to begin with, if they were given to you, then you have the power to give them back. You can choose a new story. You can rewrite everything. Think of your life as a book. The version you're living now is just a rough draft. It's filled with other people's edits, chapters written by fear, limitations, and survival. But here's the plot twist. You're not just a character in this story. You're the author. And you can start rewriting today. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Now. Start by asking yourself, what story have I been living? Is it a story of struggle, of playing small, of waiting for something to change? Are there patterns you keep repeating? Financial stress, toxic relationships, self-doubt? These aren't accidents. They're echoes of an old script you didn't realize was running. Now flip the page. Imagine a new story. One where you're bold, free, and powerful. One where your beliefs support your growth, not your fear. You get to choose what that looks like. Who are you when you're no longer held back by the past? What do you believe when you're the one writing the script? It starts by becoming aware. Notice the beliefs that pop up when you want to take a risk. The voice that says, "Who are you to do that?" Or, "What if you fail?" That voice is the old program talking. But you don't have to listen. You can choose a new voice, one that says, "I'm capable. I'm ready. I belong." Your job isn't to fix yourself. You were never broken. Your job is to remove what was never yours to begin with. You get to rewrite the code. You get to choose new thoughts, take new actions, and build a new reality, one decision at a time. And you don't need to wait until you feel ready. You become the new you by being the new you every single day. You act as if you're already that version of yourself. When fear shows up, you ask, what would my future self do? When doubt creeps in, you remind yourself, that's the old script. I don't follow it anymore. When challenges appear, you say, this is just a plot twist. My breakthrough is coming. You are not here to survive. You are here to create. You are here to thrive. But you have to claim it. Let's take it even deeper. Everything in your life is energy, your thoughts, your emotions, your choices. Imagine your reality as a field of raw, shapeable energy. Every thought you think sends a signal. Every emotion you feel sends out a wave. The question is, are you sending signals of fear, lack, and doubt? Or power, purpose, and belief? Start small. Begin each day with awareness. Take 5 minutes to breathe deeply. Picture a bright light washing over you, clearing out the old patterns. Say to yourself, I am the creator of my life. Feel it. Mean it. Let that be your starting point. Now, move differently. Take small, bold steps that go against your old program. Start the thing you've been afraid to start. Speak up when you'd normally stay silent. Walk a different path, literally and metaphorically. These tiny actions send shockwaves through your old reality. They tell your brain, we're doing something new now. And while you're at it, look back, not to dwell, but to understand. Think about one big struggle in your life right now. Money, love, confidence. Then ask, did your parents or grandparents deal with the same thing? If the answer is yes, then you're not just facing your own challenge. You're breaking a pattern that's been passed down for generations. That's not weakness, that's legacy breaking power. Let's also be real about the system you grew up in. You were taught to follow rules, go to school, get a job, work hard, be loyal, don't question authority. And somewhere along the way, you were told that hard work alone would make you successful. But is that really true? Look around. Are the hardest workers the richest? Are the most obedient employees the wealthiest? No, because the system isn't built for freedom. It's built for control. It keeps you working, not thinking. Obeying, not questioning. Surviving, not thriving. But now you're awake. You see the truth. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's your power. You don't need to burn everything down. You just need to stop following the script that was never written for you. Tear it up. Toss it out. Write your own. And write it big, bold, and honest. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not stuck. You are simply at the start of your real story. So breathe, step forward, and begin. For years, decades, even governments, big companies, and financial institutions have told us the same story. Don't step outside the system. Don't question it. Don't take financial risks. They taught you that the only way to survive is to follow the rules. Obey. Work hard. Stay in your lane. They made it seem dangerous to dream too big or to want something different. They made you feel guilty just for wanting financial freedom. Over time, this message became more than just a suggestion. It became a belief. A belief passed down from generation to generation, like an invisible chain. Your great-grandparents were told to keep their heads down and work hard. So were your grandparents. So were your parents. And now, the same message is being handed to you. But here's the truth. Working hard doesn't make you rich. Thinking differently does. If you want to break free from this system, you need to unlearn the old programming and rewire your mind. Your money story, everything you believe about wealth, success, and freedom was taught to you, and it can be untaught. This is your chance to reset your financial mindset and rewrite your future. Let's start by looking at the beliefs you've picked up over time. Think back to your childhood. What were you told about money? Did you hear things like money doesn't grow on trees? Or maybe rich people are selfish, or wanting more is greedy. Maybe you grew up seeing your parents struggle, and now, deep down, you believe struggle is normal. That belief is not your fault, but it is your responsibility to change it. So take a few minutes. Write down every negative thing you believe about money. Everything that makes you feel guilty for wanting more. Everything that tells you you'll never have enough. Because if you don't bring those beliefs into the light, they'll keep controlling your life from the shadows. Now, it's time to flip those beliefs on their head. Next to every old, limiting belief, write a new truth. For example, if you wrote, "Making money is hard," change it to, "Money flows to me as I learn new skills." If you believe, "People like me don't get rich," rewrite it as, "Wealth is a skill and I can learn it." If you feel that wanting money is selfish, switch it to, "Money gives me freedom and I deserve that freedom." Your mind is like a sponge. It soaks in whatever you repeat. So for the next month, read your new beliefs out loud every single morning. It might feel silly at first, but that's exactly how your old beliefs were programmed into you through repetition. Now it's your turn to use that same method to reprogram your mind for success. Next, we're going to take this mindset and put it into action. For the next 7 days, live as if you are already financially free. That doesn't mean maxing out your credit card or pretending to be rich. It means shifting how you think, speak, and act. If someone asks how you're doing, don't say, "Just trying to get by." Instead say, "I'm making moves toward financial freedom." When you see something expensive, don't say, "I can't afford that." Ask yourself, "How can I afford that?" Think like someone who believes in their future. Move like someone who expects success. Every choice you make, what you eat, how you spend, how you show up, ask yourself, would a financially free version of me do this? You'll be amazed at how quickly your reality begins to change when your mindset does. Now, let's talk about fear. Fear is one of the biggest things holding people back. But here's something most people don't realize. Fear isn't just a feeling. It's a habit. It's your brain replaying past pain, like a movie stuck on repeat. Even when there's no real danger, your brain keeps warning you based on old experiences. And fighting that fear, it only makes it louder. So instead, we're going to do something radical. We're going to watch it. Close your eyes and bring up a memory that scared you, maybe a time you failed, felt small, or were embarrassed. Now, don't run from it. Just feel it. Sit with it. Let it pass through you like a wave. Then, change the ending. Instead of seeing yourself powerless, picture yourself strong and in control. Imagine how you would have responded if you believed in your worth. Take some deep breaths and hold on to that version of you. That version still exists inside you. The more often you do this, the more your brain learns that fear doesn't control you anymore. But we're not stopping there. We're going to take this even deeper into your identity. Because here's the truth. Your current identity is a cage. It's made of past stories, old labels, and outdated beliefs. But you don't have to stay stuck in it. You can become a new version of yourself starting right now. For the next 7 days, take on a 7-day identity shift. Start by getting clear on who you want to be. Not just what you want to have, but who you want to become. Then, figure out what's holding you back. What habits keep you small? Maybe it's scrolling social media too much, putting off your goals, or hanging out with people who drain your energy. Break those habits. Replace them with new, powerful ones. Walk, talk, and move like the version of you who's already successful. Surround yourself with people who support this new version. Cut out anything or anyone that doesn't. And every night, check in with yourself. How did I show up today? What can I do better tomorrow? You don't need to fake it till you make it. Just become it until you are it. Now let's take a look at your reality. You might think life is just happening to you. But what if I told you that your thoughts, your emotions, and your beliefs are shaping what you see and what you attract every single day? Most people avoid this truth because it means taking responsibility. It's easier to say, life is unfair than to say, I've been creating this life without realizing it. But here's the deal. Your brain filters your world. If your mind is wired for struggle, you'll miss opportunities even if they're right in front of you. Two people can grow up in the same tough situation. One uses it as an excuse. The other uses it as fuel. The difference? Mindset. So here's how you rewire your reality. Grab a notebook. Write down one major struggle that keeps showing up in your life. Maybe it's money problems, toxic relationships, or self-doubt. Now ask yourself, what rule did my brain create because of this? For example, money is hard to get, or people always leave, or I'm not good enough. These aren't facts, they're just conclusions you made in the past. Now, break those rules. Write new ones. I attract new income every day. I deserve healthy, loving relationships. I am more than enough. Repeat these new beliefs every morning and night for a week. Watch how your energy shifts. Finally, let's talk about speeding up results. Most people think success takes years. But the truth is, time is flexible. Your brain can change instantly if it gets the right signal. Here's how to do it. Close your eyes. Picture the version of yourself who has everything you want. Picture their life in detail. Where they live, what they wear, how they feel when they wake up. Now step into that version. Feel their confidence, their peace, their power. Then open your eyes and move through your day like you already are that person. This is how you collapse time. This is how you create results now, not someday. And here's the hard truth. Most people won't do this. They'll read this, feel inspired, then go right back to their routine. The same job, the same habits, the same excuses. But not you. You're here because a part of you knows it's time. Time to break the cycle. Time to stop playing small. Time to become the person you were meant to be. So ask yourself, do I want to stay stuck for another year? 5 years? A decade? If the answer is no, then there's only one thing left to do. Act. Now, it looks like I can't currently download the tools I'd normally use to measure and refine the word count directly. But no worries, I can still rewrite your entire passage in simpler, more engaging language and aim for around 1,600 words by hand. What if I told you that the hard things you face every day aren't there to break you, but are actually a signal, like an alert, telling you it's time to update the way you think and feel inside? Imagine your mind as a powerful, high-tech computer. From the day you were born, it's been collecting programs. Every experience, every lesson, even the ones you don't remember, have added new software that tells you how to see the world, how to react, and who you believe you are. But sometimes we end up with faulty programs. One of the most damaging ones is what I call the sadness loop. This is when sad or negative thoughts turn into heavy emotions like hopelessness, and those emotions then create more sad thoughts. It's a cycle that keeps spinning on its own. You might think you're just feeling down, but for many people, this isn't just a mood, it's a way of life. Sadness becomes the background music playing all day, every day, and it feels like you can't turn it off. Let's break down how this loop works. Something happens, a comment from someone, a bad memory, or maybe a difficult situation. That moment triggers a thought like, I'm not good enough, or nothing ever works out for me. Those thoughts bring feelings like sadness, guilt, or shame. Then you might react by pulling away from people, avoiding things, or giving up. And every time this happens, that belief that you're not good enough gets stronger. It's like your brain says, see, I told you so, and the loop continues. This cycle isn't random. In fact, science tells us it's deeply built into our brains and even our biology. There's something called epigenetics, which shows us that the pain and struggles of our parents, grandparents, and even further back can be passed down to us through our genes. But here's where things get really hopeful. Scientists have also discovered that our brains can change. This is called neuroplasticity. It means the brain can rewire itself based on what you think and do. Dr. Joe Dispenza and others have shown that when people change their thoughts and habits, they actually change the way their brain is wired. That means you're not stuck. You're not doomed to repeat the past. You can break the loop. You can start fresh. You can create new thoughts, new habits, and a new life. Neville Goddard once said, imagination is the gateway to reality. What he meant is this: the world you see outside you is shaped by what's going on inside you. If your mind is full of sadness, that's what your life will reflect back to you. But if you fill your mind with peace, love, and joy, your world will start to change. Esther Hicks shares a similar idea. Your emotions act like a magnet. When you're stuck in sadness, you pull in more sadness. But if you raise your emotional state, you begin to pull in better things. Now that you know how the sadness loop works, let's talk about how to break it. I'm going to share a 3-step approach that's simple but powerful. It blends science with wisdom that's been around for centuries. And most importantly, it works. The first step is becoming aware of your own mind. Imagine sitting inside your own brain like it's a spaceship full of buttons and screens. For most of your life, those buttons have been pushed automatically by old habits. Now it's time for you to take the controls. Start by noticing your thoughts. Don't try to change them right away. Just watch. When a negative thought comes up, imagine you're watching it on a screen. You don't need to react. Just be curious about it. Next, practice stepping away from the emotions that come up. This doesn't mean you should ignore how you feel. It means you can notice the emotion without becoming the emotion. Think of yourself as the sky, and your feelings are the clouds passing by. They come and go, but they're not who you are. This step is all about awareness without judgment. Start writing down your thoughts in a journal. You'll start to see patterns, certain triggers, repeated phrases like, I'll never be happy, or I always mess things up. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to changing them. I once worked with a man who always wrote, I'm a failure, every time something went wrong. Once he began to see this thought pop up again and again, he realized it was just an old story he didn't need anymore. The second step is to make new choices. Your thoughts and feelings might be stuck, but your actions are something you can control. Start by catching those negative thoughts and gently replacing them. For example, instead of saying, I'm not good enough, try, I'm doing my best, and that's enough for today. It might not feel natural at first, but with time, your brain will start to believe the new story. Then, act like the person you want to become. If you want to feel joyful, do small things that bring joy. even if you don't feel like it yet. Go for a walk, listen to uplifting music, or smile at a stranger. These tiny actions might seem small, but they're like planting seeds. Over time, they grow into real change. Start with one positive habit a day. Maybe it's a 2-minute meditation. Maybe it's sending a kind message to a friend. Whatever it is, just keep it simple and keep it going. Repetition is what rewires your brain. You can also use affirmations, positive sentences you repeat throughout the day. Try saying, "I am open to experiencing joy in every moment." Say it often. Let it sink in. I used to be stuck in my own loop of sadness and doubt. Every failure would bring on a flood of negative thoughts. But one day, I chose to try something different. I started acting like I was already confident and happy. I meditated in the mornings. I told myself I was worthy, and I even forced myself to smile. Slowly, everything started to shift. The third step is to repeat these changes until they stick. This is where real transformation happens. You need to teach your brain how to feel good, just like it learned to feel bad. Spend a few minutes each day imagining your best life. Picture it clearly, what it looks like, sounds like, feels like. Visualization trains your brain to believe that change is possible. Practice emotional rehearsal too. This means choosing to feel good emotions on purpose. Even if you feel a little sad, try to recall a happy memory or think about something that brings you hope. Your brain starts to learn what joy feels like again. That's powerful. You can also stack new habits onto things you already do. If you always drink coffee in the morning, use that time to read something inspiring or say your affirmations. This makes your new habits easier to stick with because they fit naturally into your life. In the morning, before you check your phone, take 5 minutes just to sit quietly. Notice your thoughts, speak your affirmation, and list 3 things you're grateful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already good. Then, picture your ideal day. See yourself being calm, confident, and joyful. This will help set the tone for the rest of the day. In the middle of the day, take a short pause. Breathe deeply. Check in with how you feel. If sadness or stress shows up, don't ignore it, acknowledge it, and then gently shift your focus. Repeat your affirmation. Remind yourself that you are in control. If a negative thought creeps in, write it down and flip it into something empowering. At night, reflect on your day. What did you do well? When did you choose joy over sadness? Write it all down. Reflection helps you learn and grow. End the day with a few deep breaths. As you breathe in, imagine pulling in light and peace. As you breathe out, let go of sadness and stress. This helps your mind reset for a new day. Let's be real, this isn't always easy. Old habits are strong, and your mind will fight to keep things the way they are. Change feels uncomfortable at first. That's normal. Think of it like breaking in a new pair of shoes. They might pinch at first, but soon they'll feel just right. There will be moments when sadness comes back. That doesn't mean you failed. It just means your brain is still learning. Keep going. Be kind to yourself. Celebrate every small win. And remember this, you are not your thoughts. You are the one watching your thoughts. And that means you have the power to choose something new. So, what if today was the day you said no more to the sadness loop? What if today you decided to upgrade your inner software? You've learned how the cycle works. You've seen the science and the wisdom behind it. And now you have a clear path forward. This isn't just a nice idea. It's a real plan. A plan that can change your life, one small choice at a time. There are moments in life when everything feels too heavy. Maybe it's sadness that sits on your chest like a weight. Or maybe it's a voice in your head that says, I just can't do this. We all have those moments. But here's something powerful. The next time you say, I can't, add the word yet. I can't do this yet. That single word changes everything. It means you're still learning. You're still growing. It leaves the door open for change and possibility. It tells your brain that you're not done. You're just getting started. We often forget that growth takes time. You're not supposed to have it all figured out today. Change doesn't happen overnight, but every step forward, no matter how small, matters. Even if it feels like you're taking one step forward and two steps back, you're still moving. The important thing is to not give up. That small shift in how you speak to yourself can change your entire path. You don't have to go through this alone. So many people are silently fighting their own battles, just like you. Reach out to someone. Talk to a friend. Find a group, online or in your neighborhood, that supports growth, healing, and self-improvement. Surrounding yourself with uplifting people makes a huge difference. When you share your story, when you talk about your struggles and victories, you not only help yourself, you inspire others too. You remind people that they're not alone, and you remember that you aren't either. I know what it's like to feel stuck. There was a time in my life when sadness seemed like my constant companion. I tried to change, but it always felt like I was going in circles. I thought, maybe this is just who I am. But then, one day, I chose joy, just once, in a tiny moment. I laughed at something silly. I took a deep breath and felt a little lighter. That small moment didn't fix everything, but it mattered. It was a spark, and I kept choosing joy in small ways, day after day. Over time, those small rebellions against sadness turned into a new way of living. My life didn't magically change, but I did. You have the power to rewrite your story. Maybe the chapters so far have been filled with pain or struggle. But here's something most people don't realize. Those chapters weren't fully written by you. They were shaped by your past, your family, what society told you, and things you couldn't control. But you can take the pen back. You can decide what the next chapter looks like. And in this new chapter, you're not the victim, you're the hero. The one who rises. The one who breaks old patterns and creates a new path. Sadness doesn't have to be your default. You are not broken. You're becoming. Every setback is just part of the setup for your comeback. Every time you catch a negative thought and say, wait, that's not me anymore, you're making progress. Every time you act with hope instead of fear, you're changing your life. These small wins build your new identity, one choice at a time. And believe it or not, this doesn't just change your mind, it can change your body too. Science shows us that our choices and emotions can even affect our genes. It's called epigenetics. It means the environment you create inside your mind and around you can turn certain genes on or off. You're not stuck with the hand you were dealt. You're not bound to your family's sadness or stress. You can be the one to break the cycle. This is where old wisdom meets new science. What we think, feel, and do actually shapes who we become. So when you choose joy, even when it's hard, you're not just changing your mood. You're literally reshaping your brain, your body, and your future. You're creating a new story, not just for yourself, but for everyone who comes after you. That's what transformation is. It's not about pretending to be happy or faking positivity. It's about making conscious choices again and again, even when it's hard. Start with awareness. Notice what you're thinking. Pay attention to how you feel. Don't judge it, just observe. This is the first step in waking up from the autopilot that's been running your life. Then, take action. When that familiar voice tells you you're not good enough, replace it with something kinder. Say, I am learning, or I am growing, and take small steps that reflect the life you want. You don't need to make huge changes all at once. Just do something today that your future self will thank you for. One powerful tool is visualization. Every day, take a few minutes to imagine the life you want. Really feel it. Picture yourself waking up happy, feeling strong, full of purpose. See yourself making bold decisions. Imagine what it smells like, what it sounds like, how it feels in your body. The more real it feels in your mind, the easier it becomes to create in your life. Repetition is key. You're not going to rewrite your life with one good day. But the more you practice these new thoughts and habits, the stronger they get. This is how you build new pathways in your brain. Stack these habits into your daily routine right after brushing your teeth or during your morning coffee. Make it easy and consistent. Over time, these small practices become who you are. And never underestimate the power of community. Healing isn't a solo mission. We're wired for connection. Find people who believe in growth. Talk to mentors, join groups, message a friend. Transformation is easier and way more fun when you do it together. When you fall, someone will help you up. When you rise, they'll celebrate with you. You're not the only one fighting old programming. So many of us were raised in fear, shame, or survival. But you don't have to stay there. You can rise above it. You can be the one who breaks the chain. The teachings from people like Joe Dispenza, Neville Goddard, and Esther Hicks aren't just interesting ideas. They're practical tools that can reshape your life. And they work. I've used them myself. I've felt the shift in my own life. And I know you can too. This isn't about pretending your pain never happened. It's about learning from it, growing through it, and refusing to let it define your future. You have the power to make new choices, to feel new feelings, to live a new life. So ask yourself, what story do you want to live? Will you keep repeating the same old one, the one filled with pain and limits? Or will you write a new chapter? One where you rise, where you heal, where you shine. Everything you need is already inside you. You have the tools. You have the strength. All that's left is for you to decide. If you're ready to start, you're not alone. There are thousands of us doing this work together, choosing growth, joy, and purpose. You're invited to join this movement. Subscribe to stay connected. Comment and tell your story. Share this message with someone who needs it. Let's build a world where healing and transformation are normal, where we cheer each other on and celebrate the messy, beautiful process of becoming who we truly are. You are not broken. You're becoming. And your next chapter is waiting. Are you ready to write it?